Hello, my name is Andrea Christenson, and I'm so grateful to be on Tony Shiloh's Wednesday Excerpts. My new book, How Sweet It Is, just launched wide yesterday, and I'm so glad that Tony gave me the opportunity to share an excerpt with you today. It's the story of Sammy and Sammy Johnson and Robin Fox, and they live in Deep Haven together, and they have a fun relationship. They've known each other since high school, and so they have a lot of banter, and so I picked one of their bantering scenes to share with you today. Told from Sammy's perspective. A few minutes later, he arrived at the bakery. Baked goods made good motivation. A warm, chocolatey scent greeted him as he pushed through the door. The bakery was deserted except for Robin, who stood behind the counter. A heat filled him that had little to do with the temperature of the room. "Hi," Robin said from her place at the cash register. "Hi yourself." Sammy took off his jacket and set it on a table. "Oh, cupcakes! I'm going to need half a dozen of those. I don't care what kind they are." "You look serious. Good thing I have some serious cupcakes." He laughed. "I need them for a tutoring session in a few minutes." Robin bent to retrieve his order from the display case. 6 delicious, cream-filled chocolate cupcakes coming right up. Sammy set the cupcakes on the table as Ben walked through the open door. Ben sat down and Sammy explained that they would be playing a game for cupcakes. They'd both make a rhyme out of history facts and then memorize them. Then they challenged themselves to write the facts down correctly, either in verse or just the fact. Winner take all. A half hour later, they landed on the last fact. "Okay, one more right answer for the win." Sammy held up a note card. "When was the Battle of Waterloo?" He and Ben wrote their answers down and then compared them. Sammy had written 1815, but Ben's card read June 18th, 1815. Sammy flipped over the flashcard. "Looks like you win the cupcakes, my friend." "Yes!" Ben did a fist pump and hooted. "I knew I could take you, old man." "Hey, who you calling old man? I still got lots of fight in me." Sammy's mock horror made the smile on Ben's face stretch wider. "I knew I'd win. You didn't stand a chance." "All right, you won fair and square." Sammy stood and so did Ben. They gave each other a fist bump. "I can't wait to see your grade on your history test." Ben pulled on his jacket and grabbed the box of cupcakes. "See you later, Sammy." Robin stood at the display case wiping the glass. "Pretty smart idea studying history facts like that." Sammy shrugged. "You taught me that game. Don't you remember setting a pile of Oreos in front of me in study hall? Because of you, I passed chemistry." "Oh yeah, I remember now. I had to switch to bringing Grandpa Jim's oatmeal cookies because you kept winning all my Oreos." She scrubbed at a spot. "It was fun to see you working with Ben when you could be doing something else." Sammy stretched, then approached the case where Robin was working. "I suppose, but it doesn't cost me anything to spend some time with the kid. He's got a good mind. It just needs to be steered in the right direction." "Well, today it cost you half a dozen cupcakes." "That's true, and I'm going to need to buy some more. I actually wanted to win those. I promised my mom I'd bring something home for dessert tonight." Sammy leaned on the counter, being careful not to smudge her hard work. "When did cupcakes get added to the menu anyway?" Robin groaned. "I met with the plumber on Friday. He came in and did a rush job on Saturday. The amount it's going to cost for me to pay for those pipes is astronomical. I had to add in the few new items to make ends meet. Besides, cake baking is therapeutic for me." He studied the cake in the display. "This looks amazing. That shiny stuff on it almost looks edible." "Gee, thanks. Sorry, that did come out wrong, didn't it?" "A little bit." Her toothy smile belied her pretended offense. "That shiny stuff is gold leaf. It's totally edible. I thought it worked with the school colors." "It definitely does. People will be beating your door down for those cakes." "That's the hope. Well, maybe not literally beating down my door. I have enough to fix up around here without having to replace that, too." "Yeah, your cabinet did look pretty sad the other day." "Oh, now you're insulting my kitchen, too? You're in trouble, Johnson." Robin put her hands on her hips. He held his hands up in surrender. "I keep sticking my foot in my mouth. I think I need to fill it up with a cupcake instead." "Good plan, mister. I'll box up these chocolate ones for you. Lucky for your mom, I have a dozen left." "While you do that, I'll take a look at your cabinet. It could be an easy fix," he said. She waved him on back, and he lifted the opening in the counter, letting himself behind the bar. As he passed Robin, he caught a breath of her perfume, or maybe her shampoo, something floral and summery. He pushed through the swinging doors into the kitchen. The cabinet didn't look any better than the other day. In fact, now that the plumber had poked around, it looked worse. Both doors had been taken off their hinges, and he could see the gaping holes the screws had made coming out. There was no way they would ever go back in properly. The floor of the cabinet was in worse shape. It seemed like Mac had put a knee through the board because Sammy could see the flooring underneath. Robin came in through the swinging door. "What's the verdict, Doc?" "Not good news, I'm afraid. This whole cabinet will have to be replaced. A few of these wooden floorboards, too. The water seeped into them, and I'm concerned about mold. Not good for a commercial kitchen." Robin wrapped her arms around herself. "I'll have to get someone in here to look at that, I guess. I've been out of town for so long, I don't even know who to call. Any ideas for me?" "I'll ask around for you." Huh. Not 2 hours after taking his check to the bank, and God was already presenting him with an opportunity to use it for good. Though, if he chose to pay for Robin's repairs, he could never let her know it was him. "I'd appreciate that. There may even be a cupcake in it for you." She shot him a wink. His heart flipped. What was happening? This was Robin. He shifted his feet, suddenly aware of his large size in the small space. Thanks for boxing those up." He reached for the box of cupcakes in her hand. Their fingers brushed as he took it from her. A spark buzzed up his arm, and it must have landed somewhere in his brain, because he heard himself say, "I'm sure they'll taste as good as you smell." She stared at him. "What?" "Never mind, I'd better get going." He hurried past her and out into the dining room.